transform them and look at them through a different lens and create something tangible that you can hold on to and even gift to the people that you've shared your special experiences and special memories with. So what I have in front of me is my artwork that I created a bit earlier is still drying, but I do have some works that I created previously and that I used different memories for. So this one, I was thinking about climbing up a glacier in British Columbia with my family, so thinking about the rocks and the moss that was attached and covered the different rocks. So I have one little painting here. I also have a memory of my family's cottage and going up to visit my aunt and uncle and all my cousins and looking at the different mountains and the water and the reflection on the water. So that's another memory that I have. And this one here is a memory that I had at Point Pelee National Park and walking through the marsh and looking at different rocks and different plants and the water. So I'm going to be using those today. April, you'll be using the one that you created a bit earlier because it's dry and ready to go.
I'll be using my memory of the garden that I talked about earlier. I'm really excited to see what I'm doing.
So for this particular part of the project, you'll need a pair of scissors. So we both have our pairs of scissors. You'll also need a pen or a pencil, something that is round that you can wrap around. That's not too big. I don't think I would use this paintbrush because it's a little bit too big, but something that's round that you can use. You'll also need some string or some rope. So I have some for us to use here. And this is optional as well, but if you have some family photos at home, you can use those as well. So I brought in some photos of when I was a kid and at the cottage with my family, so I'll be using some photos, but that's completely optional. If you don't have any photos, that's okay. You can also print them off from your computer at home on paper and use those, but I'll be using some family photos as well. So April, are you ready?
I'm so ready. I can't take the suspense.
Okay. So today we'll be creating and transforming the abstract landscapes that we created into some paper beads that will be stringing on a piece of rope to create friendship bracelets.
Oh, wow. So you're saying that I need to turn this into a bracelet?
You get to transform your artwork into a bracelet that you'll be able to give to your friends and family.
Oh my goodness.
And maybe they share that same memory, or they have different memories of that space, or you get to share a story that is near and dear to your heart. So we're going to be transforming our work. And I know that some of you might be a little bit scared to turn your work into some paper beads. We are going to be cutting up our work. So maybe I would suggest if you really love the work that you created, maybe take a photo of it or ask a parent or a teacher to make a photocopy or a scan of it so you have that memory.
Okay, so if we don't want to cut it, we don't have to.
If you don't want to cut it, you don't have to.
But you know, Sophie, I did do a couple. I made more than one, so maybe I'll keep one and I'll use the other for our.
That's a great idea, April, and that's the beauty of this exercise, that you can do it a few times and we're all going to be different each time. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. So everyone take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
We're going to cut our artwork.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we're just going to go freehand. You don't need to trace. You don't need a ruler. You don't need a pencil to make your lines. But what we'll do is we'll cut some thin strips of paper. So I'm going to choose to go up vertically, but you can also choose to go horizontally. You can cut zigzag lines. You can cut out some triangles. You can cut some different widths of your paper. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to go for it.
So Sophie, would you say like maybe the tip of your finger's width?
Absolutely.
About that size?
About that size.
Okay.
That's the size that I've used in my practice runs and previously, but you could go a little bit wider. You a wavy line. And maybe on this side I'll do a zigzag line. I'm anxious to see how that will turn out. And I'm being so brave right now and cutting my artwork. Oh my goodness. And I'll try maybe a triangle. See what that might look like.
Once you do it, it's actually kind of fun.
You just have to get over that first initial, that first cut.
So now you'll have strips like this, right, Sophie?
Absolutely, and you can make as many as you'd like to. You can make them really, really long. You can make them a little bit shorter. And as you start to make them, you can transform them and create new beads and transform them into beautiful little bracelets. And you can make as many as you'd like.
And maybe you know how to make a bead in a different way. And if you feel like you can do that, then by all means, go ahead and try different ways that you feel like you can make a bead out of a piece of paper.
Absolutely. All right, once you have your little strips of paper, so I've got a few different shapes. I've got one with the zigzags and waves. I've got one that's a little bit thinner. I've got one that's pretty big. So I have a nice variety of paper beads that we're going to transform. So the next step is you want to grab your pen or your pencil or maybe the end of a paintbrush, and I'll choose this one as my first bead.
I'm choosing this one.
Oh, that's a good one, Angel. I think it will turn out
It
really
has a
well.
little bit of everything in this strip. A little bit of each color I used, which is why I picked it.
I love it. So it's pretty simple. So we'll put one end on the end of our pen, and just very gently and very slowly, and it might take some practice, and you might not get it on the first try, but keep going. I know you can do it. And slowly start rolling your little piece of paper around the pen. And you'll see your bead will start to grow and start to puff up and get bigger and bigger. This takes some time, but it's okay. We have all the time in the world. Perfect. So I'm just getting towards the end, and you can see my little bead is wrapped up around the pen. Ooh, April, I really love that.
It turned out really nice. I feel like maybe I could make it a little bit tighter, so I might do that.
Yeah, you can make it
Test out.
as tight or as loose. Try out different shapes, different techniques, see what works, see what maybe doesn't, and adapt and try something new. And once you get to the end, you can leave out a little bit, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here. You can use a glue stick or some white glue. I'm just going to press so it doesn't unravel or it doesn't come apart. And I'm just going to hold on, count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this is the moment of truth here. I'll remove it and slide it off the pen. And it makes a little round, a little paper bead that I'm going to use to transform my painting, my landscape painting, into a friendship bracelet. Wow. All right, so
This is amazing.
who knew we could transform some artwork into some beads?
I never thought of making beads from painting before.
Isn't that crazy?
This is amazing. What a wonderful way. It reminds me of kind of like a locket of some sort, where if you were to unscroll, you could piece the images together. But it's kind of nice that it's a secret.
Yeah. And I think too, once all your beads are complete, and as you put it back onto the string, you can kind of see the color palette, and you can see the shapes, and you'll be able to see your picture, but in a different way. So it's offering a new perspective on a landscape or a place that is important to you, that you'll be able to share with someone else.
We've abstracted it even more.
Absolutely. It's taking that extra step and making it that much more unique and different. So here's my second bead. This one turned out a little funny. Wow, I like it. Very cool. All right, I think I'll do one more, and I'm going to choose this one that kind of tapers at the bottom, and it's almost like a triangle, and it comes up to a pointed tip there. And that'll be my third bead, and I'll just roll it. And this one I'll make as tight as possible. Ooh, this one's pretty cool. And you can see all the different colors kind of meld together and the different shapes and lines that you used. Let me choose here. I think I'll choose this one. This is a photo of me and my family skating on a river. And this is one of my favorite places in the world is on that river. So I'm going to choose a little piece, a little slice of it, and I'm going to add it to my memory bracelet. So this is something that you can do too at home with some photos.
And if you have a photo but you don't want to cut it, you can take the photograph and ask somebody to photocopy it for you, and you can use the photocopy to make your bracelet beads.
I'm going to add a little bit of blue, and I think that will be my last bead. I think I'll be ready. I'm just going to hold on to it. Perfect. All right, and there's my little photo bead. Very cool. All right, people, are you ready for the next step? I'm ready. All right, so we're going to put these together and string them on a piece of rope. Now you can make a bracelet. You can make a necklace. Absolutely. So people all
Or maybe even an anklet.
Absolutely. So here you go. Here's one piece for you. And I think I'll choose a longer piece, and I'll make a bracelet, a necklace. Perfect. So once you have your rope ready, you can start to string on your beads. And when I do this, I like to take the time and reflect on the whole process. So from creating the artwork to letting it dry and think about the places that I've seen and that I visited and the people I shared that moment with. And it's a little reflection almost. It's almost like meditating. So
I feel like we created some sort of scroll.
it's a good way of thinking about it.
And when the beads are kind of coming together, it creates a new image or a new landscape.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to tie a little knot up at the top so my beads don't fall off. There we go. And I think that I'm going to choose to give this to my sister. Yeah.
I also have a sister, so I think maybe I'll give it to my sister too. Or maybe if I can make two and give one to my sister and one to a friend.
Absolutely, and I think what's so special about this project is tell them about your memory, reminisce and think back to that time where you were so happy, and think about all the good memories. So I'm going to hold on to it for now, but I have this new necklace that I really love, and I also have some bracelets that I made a bit earlier with all these different colorful beads, and you can make as many as you'd like, or just keep it very simple and put 2 or 3 on a piece of string, but it's something unique and special.
I love it.
Very cool.
Thank you so much for showing me, Sophie, how to make our friendship bracelet out of a beautiful abstract painting that we did today. And thank you for joining me here at Artcite to do that.
Thank you for having me, and I hope you have fun and think about landscape and memories and create something really beautiful and meaningful that you can share with others. Thank you so much.